Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist and talking about what's probably the most requested topic in years. What's happening in Afghanistan, lessons to be learned here, my opinion on what's going on, and so on. Before I go on, I want to thank everyone that followed us in the live stream this weekend with Matt Bracking. Awesome, thank you so much for that. And specifically about this topic, I always mention my books, especially these two, Street Survival Skills and the Modern Survival Manual, Surviving the Economic Collapse. For this topic though, the book that I want to recommend is one of the books I mentioned the least, which is Bugging Out and Relocated. This book is specifically for this kind of thing. If someone was in Afghanistan and applied just a third of what I explained in this book, they wouldn't be caught right now in Afghanistan with everything going on. I don't mention it as much because it's maybe one of those topics that people don't like to talk about all that much. It goes towards the more extreme kind of thing where you either have to evacuate, leave a place, or just relocate strategically ahead of time. But these are things that people honestly don't want to talk all that much about. So it's maybe one of the topics that's hardest to digest. But for this kind of thing, man, if you apply this, you would not find yourself in that situation. Just putting it out there. If you want to have something more, an actual manual for this kind of stuff, that would be it. So let's start here, and this is going to be a bit of a longer video, but I want to go through it because it's worth it. There's several lessons here to be learned, and I'll just spend just a little bit on the political, military aspect of this in terms of I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, let me roll Joe Biden explaining in his own words.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
So obviously Joe Biden is not really all that well. He obviously has, he's a man of a certain age, but he's obviously going through some neurological issues, I would assume. I mean, there's no other way of explaining how you make such a statement just days before losing an entire damn country. You lost the entire country. You lost a 20-year war. You thought that with those 300,000 Afghan soldiers, well-armed, well-trained by yourself, all those guns right now in the hands of the Taliban, all those well-trained soldiers now in the sight of the Taliban, and you thought that those 75,000 Talibans were not going to be doing anything because they don't have an air force. You have either no idea what was happening at all, which I wouldn't be surprised, given that this is Joe Biden after all. So I wouldn't be surprised if he really had no clue whatsoever. Or honestly, I think, maybe not him, but the people actually running things, they knew that this was lost. This is a retreat because this is a war that has been lost. All right, it's been 20 years trying to install a certain democracy with Western type of values, those kind of male patriarchy, Western values that liberals hate so much. Well, you know what? You really cannot change people when it's so deep in their culture, in their way of being, their existence. These folks do not want to change. They just do not care. They have no interest in being like our evil patriarchal society. So they have their much better alternatives, which is Islamic law, where women have the rights of a goat or a well-fed cow, maybe if she's in good shape. But those are the rights, the human rights, people are going to be enjoying now in Afghanistan, and certainly women are going to be having a lot of fun over there with, they're not going to be suffering the male patriarchy over there. This is not the white man, Western world patriarchy in Afghanistan. This is going to be, the wonderful, rich, and vibrant culture of Islamic law. Nice change, I guess, for them. And yeah, this is Joe Biden going on ranting about all of this stuff. Guys, this was lost a long time ago. This is a retreat because they had no way. After $900,000 million, $900,000 million lost in this. 3,000 American soldiers dead, over 70,000 civilians dead in all of this, and this is how it ends up being. This woman will no longer enjoy that little bit of hair exposed. No, now she's going to be having her entire face covered, because that's what the Taliban is explaining is Sharia law. The law by which they're going to be running things right now is just that. So I guess that the main lesson here, guys, for anyone who doesn't want to go through it, the main lesson here is don't be there when this goes down. I mean, and leave ahead of time. Right from the moment when they said that Donald Trump announced it, that they were going to be leaving, well, you knew that this was going to be happening. The reality was that it was just hanging by a thread, and the Taliban never went away. They were just there. They were infiltrated, actually, in all branches and in all areas of the government, of the military in Afghanistan. They were just waiting for the United States to retreat. Finally give up. After 20 years, give up, go back home, and we'll take over. And the hypocrisy of Joe Biden, because as senile as he is, I'm certain that he knew that the government, the military, had negotiated with the Taliban leader and actually had been giving a green light of, okay, we're going to be doing this somewhat of a transition. Please don't slaughter absolutely everyone in your path. And the Taliban said, yeah, we'll see about that. I'll see how I feel about slaughtering and enslaving all women or not. So just take a hike, get out of here, and let us be. And they said, okay, we're going to be leaving. We have nothing else to do here. This is a complete waste of lives, money, and we did enough money. I mean, the elite that were really milking this, with weapons, with contracts, with government contracts, we've done enough money, and there's really no point in continuing on with this because there's nothing else for us to do, and we're going to be going back home. And that's exactly what happened, okay, people? Now, for all of these folks that got caught in this, the situation is dramatic. It is terrible. These images of these people, trying to escape, and just some of them cheering and just seeing if they just can hitchhike a flight out of there, because they know what's going on. They want to just get out of there. There's a guy there in a suit trying to get out of there. So all of these folks trying to escape any way they can. And check this out. This is just embarrassing. This is just.
Yeah.
So you mean niqab?
Niqab.
Why did they?
But with Islamic hijab.
So like I'm wearing.
This is the woman from
Continue their
CNN.
lives, and we will not say anything for them. They can go to the school. They can continue their education.
Not be allowed to go to school.
About women.
Gradually.
Women's right.
How
Women's
will you
right,
protect
Taliban
women?
version.
Commander Assad Masoud Khistani says Islamic rule will be implemented gradually.
How will you protect women? Because many women are afraid they will not be allowed to go to school. They will not be allowed to work.
The women can continue their lives, and we will not say anything for them. They can go to the school. They can continue their education.
Okay.
But with Islamic hijab.
So like I'm wearing.
Not like you, but covering their faces as well. So
Cover the
that's hijab.
face.
Yeah.
So you mean
Yeah.
niqab?
Niqab.
Why do they have to cover their face?
Because it is in our Islam.
Is it?
Because Islam, lady. Haven't you got a clue? This is Islam. This is how it works. Shut up. And she was upset that she was pushed aside. I mean, how detached from reality are these commies, these left-wing assholes? They have no idea how these places actually work. Anyway, very interesting, these images of people that just jumped last minute, just getting on a plane and just getting out of there. Some of these people just did that. They just got into this one. Now, if you look around, what you see is healthy young men. Those are the ones that have the conditions as to jump and get in here. But you see some women there as well, probably just pushed in by someone else trying to help out. And I don't know if you noticed this, but there's also several men with babies. And of course, when you have this amount of people, these refugees, you have no idea how many of these are just sleeper cells, just waiting to do an attack on some other country later on. But I try to empathize with people in this condition. I see some guys, I see some men here with babies. I have no doubt that at some point some guy got shoved a baby or a child by some woman, by some mother. Get him out of here. At least get him out of here. Get our child out of here. I'll find my own way. And if you didn't just run fast enough, and if you didn't climb enough, you didn't make it in here. This is just 600 people out of the thousands that were left behind, or the many that died just trying to hang from the plane. So no doubt there's people going through that as well. See a baby there with a mother. Someone was saying that these were just for show. No, there's babies here. There's a father there with a little baby, and you see this every once in a while here. I mean, my heart goes out to these people, the people that really got themselves caught in this, that thought that, man, maybe we'll have a decent country for a change. No such luck. This is the way it is. I was also reading about some that got shot running through the airfield with rifles. They got shot down by the soldiers because, of course, you cannot take any risk. You don't know if that guy's gonna be, start shooting at you. So lots of that going on too. And how important it is to have this. I don't know if this is probably a soldier or maybe a government agent of some kind. I see a tactical pen, seems to be like a tactical pen there. But look at this guy. He's sleeping and he has his 4 o'clock holster with a Glock pistol in there. So if you're running towards, and this is just piece of advice, if you're running trying to escape anything and you're looking for people to help you out, and there's a high degree of danger involved, and anyone seen as a threat is going to be getting shot, you don't want to be the guy with the AK. You want to be the guy with the Glock in the holster, or maybe a folded AK in your bag. If you have it like this guy here, if you have it in your bag and you're just trying to make it into these planes, maybe you'll have luck, and it's not going to be, these people that just got in the plane at the last minute, like we were seeing before, I doubt those bags were checked as they climbed up there, right? These folks, I doubt that very much. They just went in there with whatever they had. But anything visible, any firearm visible, that's going to be getting you shot. That's no doubt. That's the thing that gets you shot. But again, get out of the damn country before it gets to this point, guys. That is the biggest piece of advice. You see the body armor, diplomats, government workers, whatever they are. Little tip here. This guy obviously has a radio. Comms, very important. You have body armor. Keep in mind, soft panels, Kevlar, that's not going to be doing you any good when everyone is armed with an AK. Now, this guy seems to be having a plate, ceramic or metal plate. This is more like it. But don't be here. And the images of people dropping from the sky, that's all terrible, as we all know. But what I see here is that you want to have your bag, your VIP bag, or I describe it as a VIP bag here in this book. The bag with your important papers, your documents, your passport. Have you got a second citizenship? Have you got the possibility of getting one? If you can, you should have it. It is one of the most valuable resources you could possibly have. It is by far one of your more powerful, more useful tools. A lot of these people that managed to evacuate just in time, they did so because they had that citizenship. If you have that specific citizenship, you get on board of the plane. If you don't get on the plane. And maybe you may have luck jumping at the last second when it's flying away, but that paper is crucial. I see the guy here with a big backpack, tactical pants, Salomon shoes, good footwear for running. Probably someone that knows what he's doing there. And lots of guns are now, weapons, and planes, and the Air Force that Joe Biden was talking about before. Now that's all in the hands of the Taliban. That very well army that he described with all the weapons and all the technology that the Afghan army had, all of that is now Taliban. Okay, guys, so those are the lessons. Don't be here. Stay in top of the news. And as soon as you know this is going to be going down, get out of there. Have the money, have the passport, have that second citizenship, have a plan. I'm gonna be going here. I have friends here, there, whatever it is. Have the cash so as to get yourself a ticket if you can at the last, at the first second this is gonna be going down. You have the money. You don't have to start saving money for months so as to get your family out of there. You save up that money, you get your papers in order, so if you have to leave in a hurry, you actually can. And everyone, it's its own little world. Maybe you're close to the border. Maybe part of your plan is, like a plan B or plan C is just, having enough fuel, driving across the border because I'm close enough to it. I have my documents. I know people on the other side that can actually help me out. So that's what you're gonna be doing, okay? Anyway, guys, as it is right now, you're going to be seeing refugees all over the place. That's going to be a lot of fun. Some of them are going to Wisconsin, so welcome them over there in Fort McCoy. Going to be having a few Afghan refugees and no doubt a few sleeper cells just in case things get interesting and some more action is needed. There's really no way around that. Whenever you have a bunch of people, when you have thousands of people that have no papers, no documents, no history whatsoever to backtrack and see what they're actually about, you're taking that risk, but it is what it is. Folks, see you in our next video. Have an awesome day. Take care.